What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Menace and the Man.
Yep.
I'm here with Stan the Man.
Episode 61.
Yep. I'm drinking one of our sponsors, beer, Great South Bay Brewery. I'm drinking the Jetty Honey Ale. Never had it before.
Cheers. Yeah, I never had this one either.
This is nice. This is nice.
Smooth. I like the honey.
Yeah, 5.5 alcohol content. Nice. And obviously, we're back in G Fuel. We're at G Fuel headquarters in the G Lab, Menace and the Man studio.
I guess they call this the studio area.
Yeah.
They call this the mixing room, right?
And then
Before it became the Menace and the Man studio.
For sure. And then big fight this weekend. We got Conor the Mac McGregor making his long-awaited return, fighting Cowboy Cerrone, a veteran's veteran.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to go to the Public House in NYC and host that mother.
Are you? The same place you had your after party, right?
Yeah.
What is that, Manhattan?
Yeah.
Kind of, sort of?
So this Saturday night, January 18th, if you want to watch the Conor McGregor, Donald Cerrone pay-per-view, come to the Public House in Manhattan, NYC, and let's watch some fights and have a couple drinks and do a little dancing.
You going to be dancing?
Well,
Did you dance at your after party? I don't feel like you did.
well, I just got into a fist fight, so.
And I feel like, what would you say? I guess they're everything. They played all types of music, right? Or they play a lot of like hip-hop-ish.
I don't know. It's like a little bar club kind of.
Okay,
You know?
okay. Is it a club? Pretty spacious, I remember. I remember it was pretty big.
Well, I guess by the time I got done with the post-press conference and all that stuff and got showered up and went to my hotel and got dressed and got over there, people were ending their nights.
Yeah.
So.
One of those type of nights.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll jump right into Vicente Luque. We'll talk a little bit. We'll see what his thoughts are on Conor versus Cowboy.
Okay.
And then we'll later on do a little preview. We might get Gilbert Burns on for a little bit. Let's see how this works again. You know Vicente, right?
Yep. Trained with him a little bit.
Did you? He might be a little big for you.
He's not bigger than Ryan. Same weight class.
Vicente.
Vicente,
Yep.
what's up, big dog?
What's up, guys?
How are you?
How you been, man?
I'm good, man. I'm doing good.
You got us good?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, all good.
Stan the Man, Dennis the Menace. I'm sure you know Dennis well enough.
Yeah.
He said you beat him up a couple times.
No, he beat me up too.
Oh, stop.
But welcome to Menace and the Man. It's glad to have you.
Thank you, man. Thanks for having me.
Okay. So what's going on with you, Vicente? Anything lined up? I know you just had that fight with Wonder Boy was your last one.
Yeah, nothing lined up yet. After Wonder Boy, I just felt I needed to take some time, especially, to work on myself. This 2019, I had 4 fights. So I was training only for my next opponent. I didn't work, my game and on improving myself, becoming a better fighter. So that's what I'm focusing on right now.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Like, when I was training, I was trained to beat anybody. I trained to be the baddest motherfucker ever. So it didn't matter if you changed the opponent on me last minute. Okay, I'm going to still beat him up. And I'm going to do what I do, and I'm going to do it to everybody. And then as the fight got closer, I would tunnel it a little bit and tailor it to maybe he throws, a lot of kicks. I'm going to check him. Or he's a lefty. I'm going to work fighting a lefty,
Yeah, I mean, I try to work like that also. But I've been fighting so much that I had to, work a little bit on my opponents. And I had my opponent change. When I was going to fight Neil Magny, he had to pull off the fight at the last on the fight week. So I got a change of opponent. But anyways, I was trained to fight anyone. So, it's kind of that mentality. You always got to be ready for whoever it is. It doesn't matter, what style he's going to bring. You got to be able to fight anyone.
Yeah. I always think you're a weak fighter when you're scheduled to fight somebody and they switch out the opponent. They're like, "Whoa, I don't know about this." It's like, what do you mean you don't know about this? You're a fucking fighter. You should fight anybody.
Yeah, that's the thing. I started fighting in 2009, so I'm kind of from a little bit the last of the old school guys.
Yeah.
I always watched guys, so my mentality is I'm always gonna take a fight. I'm not the kind of guy to back out, especially because I love fighting. I love stepping in there and just fighting another guy. That's what I do for a living, and I love doing that.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if it's gonna be last moment opponent. I'm still gonna get in there and have fun and do what I do.
Yeah, and you're living down in Florida, right?
No, I live in Brazil.
Oh, you live in
So
Brazil.
yeah, right now I'm in Brazil.
Okay.
And when I'm close to fight, sometimes I go to Florida, or whenever I have some time off and go there to work with the guys at Sanford MMA. So yeah, I'm always back and forth, but mainly in Brazil right now.
Okay, what's the ticket from Brazil to Florida? How much is a plane ticket?
About $1,000, something like that.
Okay. So you write that off in your expenses to train, obviously.
Yeah, for sure, definitely.
And then who are you training with down in Brazil?
So in Brazil, I train in Cerrado MMA. I lived in Brazil since I'm 6 years old. I was born in Jersey, but then moved with my mother to Brazil. And I started training at 15 with the same guys I train nowadays here in Brazil. And together we put up the team Cerrado MMA. And I've been training here ever since I started.
Are you the only star in that gym? Are there other stars that fight in Bellator or in UFC that train at that gym?
We have a girl fighting the UFC,
Okay.
Vivi Araújo. Her last fight was against Jessica I.
Okay.
And she just got in 2019, and we got a lot of kids that are up and coming. Some fighting in Russia. We had some fighting in Japan. So we're starting to grow and get some guys into the big leagues.
Okay. And then do the guys in Brazil, do you guys cross train with other gyms in Brazil? Or are you only
a little
at
bit
one gym?
No, I only go over here. We have all the training, but I used to train a little bit with Guto Inocente. He fights in Glory.
Okay.
And he has a gym here in Brazil. He lives here also. And we always kind of cross train, but right now we have kind of all the things we need. We got a Cuban guy from wrestling. We brought him from Cuba to train the wrestling part. And we have about 25 to 30 professionals right now training. So, we got some good guys and good material to work.
Yeah. And I don't know if you know, Stan, Cuba's nasty at wrestling.
Nasty. Yeah.
Yes.
Yoel Romero, of course.
Yeah.
I know their Olympians are usually tops in the world. Yeah. Very good wrestlers. But yeah, Vicente, I was being a little quiet there. I was trying to fix the video, but now we got you up and running, so.
Okay, cool.
Now the fans could see Vicente Luque. But yeah, I thought you were in Florida. That's why I wasn't giving you the Eastern time. I was saying, yeah, if you're good for 6, you're good for this time. But what time is it in Brazil right now?
It's 8, so it's just 2 hours difference. Not that bad.
Okay.
It's all good.
I thought it was night and day difference.
No, Brazil's South Africa, is it?
South Africa?
No.
South America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're
South America, yeah.
We're just aligned with the U.S., but down south. So it's not much of a difference in time.
All right. And I heard you say Sanford MMA. Are you guys switching over now? It's no longer 365. You guys are moving, right?
So I'm not one of the guys all the time in the team. So whenever I go there, whenever I go to Florida, I make sure that I work with Henry wherever he is. And now the transition is going on. They're training at Sanford and at Hard Knocks. I'm not really I don't know how it's going on. So I've just seen them training at Sanford MMA, and it's how they're going now. So I think it's a big new thing. The facility looks great. I haven't gone there yet, so I just make sure that I work with Henry Hooft whenever I'm in Florida. I just feel, he has a lot of good things, not only in striking, but a great vision of MMA and the striking game. I'm a striker myself, so we always work really good together.
Yeah, at first I saw, I think Michael Chandler was the first one I saw, like, sponsored by them or training with them, and then all of a sudden, slowly but surely, I see all the H kickboxing guys repping their gym or shouting them out or training there.
What is Sanford?
It's like a medical facility of some kind, right? Yeah, something like that.
It is.
So that's a Henry question. We'll have to save that one for Henry. What's going on with that?
Yeah. Henry's gonna know how to explain all of it better.
Okay. So now, you just come to America for fights, or do you come for vacation? We thought you lived in America.
No, so my dad lives in Jersey.
Okay.
So whenever I can, I try to go visit him. I have uncles and aunts also that live in Jersey. My grandfather lives in Jersey. So I got family there. Whenever I can, I have some time, I go there, visit them. And I go to Florida to train. But most of my time is in Brazil. I've been living here for a long time, and I just enjoy it here. My mother's here. My wife is here. So I just, it's home for me.
Ruined my next question. I was like, you single, dude? Do you get, man, because like in Brazil, I heard like if you were out in the clubs, like girls don't give you like a hug, hi. It's like a makeout session. That's how they say hi.
Yeah, a little. It's a little bit different culture. I think that whenever guys from the U.S. come over here, they really kind of get surprised with how everything goes in Brazil. We're just passionate about everything, even about friendship and seeing everyone. So it's a little bit different than the U.S.
How would Stan make out in Brazil? Would he pull some girls or what?
Oh, definitely, man.
Do they like big, fat, like hairy guys or?
No.
They don't. They like ripped, tan guys.
He's a good.
What'd you say there? We lost you for a second.
You're a good-looking guy, man. You're a good-looking guy.
I know. I get this often. Menace just likes to hate on me because he's short. That's all he's got on me. He makes fun of me because I'm a little chubbier now. I got a beard. You know how it is.
Yeah, but he doesn't dance.
I dance. What do you mean?
Dancing's a big deal in
I dance.
Brazil,
what are you talking about? I dance.
I've never seen you dance, Stan.
When have we ever gone to any type of a situation where we're going to dance?
Monsoon.
Oh, what are you talking about? One time when you had, less than attractive women for me to dance with? That's different. That's a different story.
Dude.
That's a different story.
It's all about, it's worth it. He can dance.
Yeah,
Right?
I can dance, Vicente. Don't listen to him. Even funny segue there. Remember a time when you were training at Long Island MMA and the dude broke his leg?
I don't remember. He broke his leg. I remember I was training there, but who broke his leg?
I broke my leg. Me.
Yeah?
Yeah. You were training.
Yeah, he wasn't as fat.
I wasn't as fat. I was skinny. I was in way better shape, maybe a little tanner. Yeah. One
Did
time.
I train with you?
No, me and you didn't get to do a round. I broke my leg like the second round of the day.
Remember he was yelling.
Yeah, I remember
he was yelling like a little girl.
No yelling. I took that shit like a man.
Yeah, I remember that. That's why you didn't yell that much, so that's why I wasn't so like, man, this guy broke his leg. I thought you were good.
Yeah, the ambulance. Remember the ambulance came? He couldn't. He couldn't walk.
Yeah, I didn't scream at all. I was like, John Gotti was like, oh my God. He reacted more than I did because he felt bad about it. Yeah.
Then remember.
And LaFleur was there too, Ryan.
Yeah, remember Ryan LaFleur was like, yo, move over. I'm trying to work.
Yeah, I remember that. Was it
awesome.
wrestling? I think we were wrestling or not.
We were doing
a
just
live round,
MMA. Yeah, takedowns. Yeah. And then once you got to the ground, it was live.
Yeah, and I was trying to avoid a body lock, and we just wound up in a crazy position and snap. And then it wasn't.
Well, you got that or not?
What'd you say?
You got back to training after that?
No, he never recovered.
No, not yet. I haven't recovered yet.
Mentally, physically, emotionally.
Yep. Yeah, it was one of those.
Man, you got to train.
Yeah, I got to get back to it. I know. What it is when people break their leg normally, it's like a broken leg. I really fucked up my leg.
Anderson broke his leg bad, and he got back to.
I had a doctor that I showed him Anderson's leg break. I showed him Paul George, the basketball player's leg break. He was like, "That's a different type of leg break." They both broke their leg high, or I broke my leg low. So I a little bit about the anatomy of a body, like the tibia, the fibula.
Yeah.
They both exploded at the bottom. So I had to get like a specialist to come and put it back together like a jigsaw puzzle.
But it's all back together, right?
Yeah,
So
I got to get back to it. I've done some mitt work with Menace a little bit.
Your like excuses are not gonna work for him.
I'm not giving an excuse. I'm giving an
Yes, you
explanation. Like the type of leg break I have. Like Anderson Silva came back. They told me never to run again. Like you can't run anymore.
And that's exactly what you wanted to hear. You're like, okay, I can't.
No,
run.
not at all. It was heartbreaking.
I'm like,
but
fuck you.
to segue back to dancing, when I first broke my leg, the first thing I asked, I was like, when can I train again? When can I dance again? And they were like, what are you talking about? I was like, that's how I pull girls. I dance and I train. That's what I do.
I've never seen you dance to pull
I
girls.
broke my leg. I don't dance the way I used to, but I can dance. I'll show you this weekend.
You just gotta just step like this. What do you mean? It's all in the hips, dog.
You've seen me do a two-step.
Where?
Everywhere. I don't just
I thought
stand.
you were just like being antsy.
No, come on. I dance. I would beat you in a Dancing with the Stars.
How did you meet your wife, Vicente?
So I met her a long time ago. We studied together, so that's when I met her.
So you guys went to college together?
Yeah. What was your move?
Well,
Because you're down a boxer. Because you're a knockout.
Whatever way I feel like, you know. So I'm not the kind of guy that's gonna go there and be shy about dancing. I just do whatever I feel like doing, and usually it works out. So I just feel like you don't gotta think too much about it. Just go there and be yourself and do whatever you want to do. It's either gonna look cool or it's gonna look funny, but either way, they're gonna be laughing and they're gonna be happy.
So let's say, all right, I'm gonna take what you said. I'm gonna just put it in how I visual. So I'm gonna do whatever I want to do. Like, would that be okay if I just grabbed? Do you ever do that?
Oh, it depends where you are.
Okay.
And what's the situation, but maybe.
Is that one of your moves, Stan?
No,
No.
not in America. Maybe in another country.
Oh, okay.
Well, it would never be kind of like a police trouble, but there could be some guys that are gonna try to jump you. So you gotta be aware of where you are.
So in Brazil, you're well known. No one's trying to fight you, right? If you go out.
Yeah, usually they're not, and I'm a quiet guy, so I'm never into trouble. But you know, there are some guys that, I mean, all guys that used to fight in the UFC that have gotten into trouble, especially because guys here, they like sometimes to fight a guy from the UFC just for the, you know, if he beats him, he's beat a guy in the UFC and he doesn't even fight there. So it's the kind of thing that you got to be aware. There are some guys that want to just get into your face just because of that, but I'm a quiet guy, so I don't get into trouble.
Right.
Yeah, Brazil's been ahead of the curve. They're ahead of the United States as far as, like, they had Vale Tudo and Luta Livre.
What do you mean? It's a fucking
jiu-jitsu. No, they've been fighting longer in Brazil than they've been fighting in America.
I thought you were saying, like, as, like, a country. I'm like...
No, not at all. I'm talking about fighting.
Like no, not as a... But in fighting, like, people here, they fighting is in our culture a lot, especially growing as a kid. Most of the kids get into fights in school, get into fights, you know, on the streets. That's just something from the culture. And whenever we get older and we try to get into fighting and into competing, you know, we can focus all that energy into something good. So that's a big trouble that happens here. You know, a lot of kids get into fights as they're young. And as a martial artist, we always try to, you know, work them and get these kids that have a lot of talent and put them to good use.
All right, I got two questions for you. One, how many street fights have you been in, like, growing up?
Man,
give me a roundabout.
But most from, let's say, from 12 all the way to 15, every 3 weekends out of 4 weekends, there would be a fight.
Oh, so you were fighting a lot growing up.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did Muay Thai when I was 15, and that's when I stopped fighting in the streets, street fighting after that. I had one street fight after that, after I was training, and my coach and the older students beat me up at the gym, so I didn't want to fight in the streets anymore.
All right.
They beat you up for using your skills in the
street.
Okay.
Yeah. I thought I was cool, you know. I just knew more than the guys in the street. I'm just going to take advantage, but I had to pay for it somewhere, and I paid for it in the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah, I grew up training, so I would always get into scuffles, if you will. And then it was like, it's not fair. It's like, so when you get to a point where like you realize that, you almost want to talk people off that ledge. Like, yo, I don't want to fight you. Just stop. Like, it's not what I'm into, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's a different level.
Yeah.
Something I do hear a lot is there are the special forces, special operations of the police, and they have courses, and they'll call some fighters to go there and do the fighting part of the course. But basically, it's beating the shit out of them. And these guys are police, they're police officers on the special forces, and it's a different level. You know, I beat these guys like, oh, if they didn't know how to fight, and they know how to fight. So if you're gonna beat a guy that really doesn't know anything, it's definitely unfair. I mean, it's not fair at all.
Not bare knuckle, like with gloves on, no?
No, it's with gloves, yeah.
Okay.
So usually have gloves, big gloves, shin guards, and a mouthpiece, and they'll just go with a headgear and MMA gloves. So
you're at like a little bit of a disadvantage.
Yeah, I mean, if they connect, I'm in trouble. So I got to make sure that I beat the shit out of them quick.
Damn.
Yeah.
How much does that pay?
So I don't do it for money. I do it for as you know, just making sure I give back to them, because here it's a big thing, violence.
Yeah.
So these guys that go into the favelas and go into the, you know, real bad shit, and just make sure that we're safe. So I just try to give back in my own way and make sure I appreciate.
That's ironic. You like to give back by fucking policemen up.
Bro, we'll even remember.
Like, Stan would love that.
What? I would give back to the police, if anything, and train them to be better equipped so they don't.
You hate police.
I don't hate police, but I have had situations with the wrong police. But then I have friends like Lito, you know, good cops. There's good cops out there. But then we had Renzo Gracie on the show, and he told us some funny stories like that, where he would almost police the streets as a jiu-jitsu guy. And the cops knew him, and the cops would work with him and be like, no, Renzo, like, we need you. And then at one point, he, like, I forget the story, the exact particulars, but he had like a house of people, and they protected the neighborhood. Like, he was his own police force, if you will.
Right? There's a lot of that here, you know.
Yeah.
Some places there aren't enough police and there aren't enough people to just keep it safe, and people are not just gonna take, you know, getting robbed, getting all kind of bad things, or they're just gonna take to their own hands and do what they got to do.
Yeah, and I mean, maybe a gun is the highest form of self-defense, but jiu-jitsu is right underneath that.
Yeah, and here's not as easy as the U.S. to get a gun, so that's a big thing too. You gotta know how to defend yourself some other way, because you cannot have. Here's prohibited. No civilian can have a gun.
In Brazil,
guys and the cops. It's crazy, but that's how it is.
That's good though. That's gun control. Yeah.
So I need you to. So the second question was, tell me your most badass street fight. Why did it happen? Where did it happen? How did it go down? And how did it end?
I would say.
How old were you?
The last one I had, and that I got beat up at the gym for. It was because of my best friend. He always was the reason that I got into trouble. He was a short guy, and he liked, you know, just to get into fights with everybody. And I was bigger than him, so I tried to go in there and just, you know, protect him in my own kind of way. So he got into some trouble. The guy tried to push him and whatever. I got into the fight with this guy. And I think the guy knew some Muay Thai or something. He kicked me on the leg. I grabbed the kick and threw a straight punch. We kind of got into a fight. And one of my friends tried to jump him at the same time I was fighting him. So I grabbed this guy and I pushed him away. I pushed my friend away and said, no way, you're not going to get into this. It's just me and him. And then we keep going into it. But then everything lost. You know, everybody started fighting. And then the party just finished. And a lot of people got hurt after that. But it wasn't a good night. But at the same time, I think it was the fact that I wanted to just go me and the guy, and I wanted to make it fair. I think that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I agree.
100%. Yeah.
I would be like, yeah, you got him. Fuck this motherfucker. Should have fucking whipped me. Motherfucker.
So now, you have any siblings, or is it just you?
No, it's just me.
Oh, yeah. usually fighters, we've noticed a trend, like you guys got brothers. So you've been fighting with your brothers or getting into street fights with the brothers and the family. That's usually how it happens.
No, I wish I had a brother, but I didn't. So I just had to fight. You know, as a kid, I trained martial arts when I was really young. My mother is a black belt in karate. So I trained karate as a kid, but then I stopped. So what I would do a lot is just imagine myself fighting. That's what I most played as a kid. So I think in some kind of way I trained fighting with the, shadow boxing, whatever. And I did that a lot as a kid.
At what age were you like, all right, Mom, I could beat you up?
I think never.
Yeah, I was going to say, still not to this day.
Hey. But, she trains Muay Thai. She trained Muay Thai some years ago. And I got to graduate her on her first kind of levels. And we sparred. And I kind of made sure that I discounted a little bit of whatever she hit me when I was a kid. So it was funny.
Wow.
It was, when you hit your mom like that, she's my mom. If I'm tough, I know she's tough. She can take it.
Wow, that's
That's fucking funny.
I don't know. Like, what's the move? Like,
No, but she's
what's the move? Like, beat the shit out of your mom and buy her a nice dinner, or like let her win and then like
no,
make her buy you dinner.
Level, so it's good.
Just beat her up, and then when you touch gloves at the end of the round, like you won that round. Just tell her she won that round. Yeah, you won that round. Don't worry, you won that round.
She's like bleeding.
Yeah, but even
if
you
that bad,
you win it, if you actually win the round, she made you, so she won that round technically.
Yeah.
Okay. She's doing good. She's doing good.
And she's into fighting a lot. I mean, she's every Saturday is sparring. We spar on Saturdays, and she's there every Saturday filming me. And then we watch all the tape together, and we make sure she points out whatever she thinks is going on, and I'll listen to her. I don't always agree, but I try to take something out of it.
Now, how old are you?
I'm 28.
Oh, so yeah, you're still young in the game. You still got a couple of years left doing this.
I'm like, shut up, Mom. Who's the professional here? Not you. How much money you make fighting? Oh, this much? That's a lot. I made a lot more than you.
But you know how they could pull that? Your mom can pull that card with how much money did you make fighting? I made as much as you. I didn't put it in my pocket, but where you came from,
Like, fuck off.
They can always pull that card. Like I gave you birth. I gave you life.
No, you're fucking. You got
into the map for the first time. So
no, Dad nailed you.
He's like, no, Dad nailed you. That's what happened. I'm my dad's son. I'm not your son.
No, I'm both. But like,
Yeah.
I'm good with both. My dad also, I have a lot of fun with him. We try to talk as much as we can. And I came here when I was 6 years old. So I grew up far away from him. But whenever I could, whenever he could, especially, he would buy me a ticket and I would go visit him in Jersey. And, we have a really good relationship. He's also was a guy from the sports. He played rugby until he was 43. He is originally from Chile, so he's Chilean. And he played on the national team. He played in South Africa for the World Cup. So it was pretty cool.
Damn.
And so your mom is Brazilian?
Yeah, my mom is Brazilian, my dad is Chilean, and I'm American.
Do you speak all three languages?
Yeah, I speak Spanish, Portuguese. Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. You're bilingual. You're actually
he's trilingual.
Trilingual, multilingual, whatever you want to call it.
Idiot.
You would have been the perfect guy that we've been trying to get into or talking about getting into. Maybe having someone that speaks a different language type of thing on the show. But your English is great.
We need you to translate.
That was almost an area where we're not trying to be racist, but we've had it a few times. Maybe it was me. Oh, I thought you were pointing at me. We didn't know how good your English was because we thought you were Brazilian.
But that's the thing. I am Brazilian, but I'm American also. And the big thing was when I got to Brazil, my mom learned English in the U.S., and so did I. When we got to Brazil, she told me, we're just going to speak English so you don't forget it. And with my dad, I've always spoken Spanish, and I speak Portuguese to everyone else. So, both my dad and my mother, they made sure that I would not forget, the language I knew how to speak. So to this day, I speak English to my mom.
because I went down to Hard Knocks in May, and I went into the gym. I talked to like Big Steve, Linton Vassell, a couple of the guys that were there, and I saw Aung, and I kind of like shook his hand and then just walked away. Like I didn't think he spoke a word of English. Then we had him on the show, and he speaks better English than all of us. And he,
No, I think he lives in the U.S. as a kid. I'm not sure if it's as a kid, but for a long time.
yeah, he grew up in Baltimore.
Yeah.
So yeah, but you know, like sometimes you don't mean to be like racist.
He's
or,
racist.
No, I'm not.
Stereotyping.
You didn't know he spoke English that well either.
That's a lie.
Yeah.
Thought Bermudez only spoke Spanish.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't speak a word. He doesn't speak a word.
Yeah, dude, poquito.
What does Paquito mean?
It's little. Two es gordo.
So yeah, the only thing he knows is Paquito, and he talks about his dick size. That's all he knows.
Nah,
Paquito.
Two es sucio y gordo.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Fat?
You're fucking dirty and fat.
Menace got jokes, but yeah, you know, you can't always judge a book by its cover because you look at Aung and you wouldn't think he spoke English, but he speaks English very clearly.
Yeah, and especially the biggest thing about him is he's a double champion. But whenever you meet this guy, if you don't know his background and don't know that he's a double champion, you would never believe, he's even a fighter. He's a super nice guy. He'll talk to anyone. He doesn't care what you are. He's just gonna talk to you just because you're you, and he's a great guy, man. He's an awesome dude.
Oh, awesome! We had Henry on the show one episode, and he got us Robin Van Roosmalen and Aung. So we had both.
Gilbert got into that a little bit too.
Yes,
I saw it on Instagram.
Dude.
Oh, you're a fan. Okay, I like that. Yeah, Gilbert jumped in on a little cameo.
Yeah.
Yes, we might get Gilbert on right after you, actually.
Nice. Yeah, he's gonna fight here in my hometown.
Oh my God, Demian Maia, that's huge.
Wow.
Yeah, he's fighting against Demian Maia. It's gonna be nice.
Who do you got?
Fight.
Who's the better jiu-jitsu practitioner?
I'm gonna
On paper.
Who's the most accomplished guy? I know that Gilbert is 3-time world champion as a black belt. So I would say he's the better jiu-jitsu guy. If you go into MMA, who uses it more, I believe that Demian uses it more. But just because Gilbert is so skilled in wrestling and in striking, sometimes Gilbert doesn't need to use the jiu-jitsu. So it's that kind of thing that, I don't know. If you just go for the MMA side of it, yeah, Demian uses jiu-jitsu much more than Gilbert. But I think that if they go to the ground, Demian will be really surprised with what Gilbert's going to bring.
So if they just had a jiu-jitsu match, Gilbert would win in your mind.
I do believe that. I think he would submit Demian.
Wow. Submit him, not just beat him, submit him.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, have you ever seen Gilbert competing? Especially, he has competed a lot now, and he's super aggressive. And before, when he had, he only fought jiu-jitsu or no-gi, whatever he did, he was super aggressive. He was always looking to finish. So he's not that kind of slow jiu-jitsu that's just trying to gain position and slowly get into a submission. He just goes for it. He doesn't care. He has cardio to keep going, as hard as he wants to go. So I think that he would definitely submit Demian in a submission match, just, submission rules.
Wow. So in my head, every Brazilian that fights in the UFC is a black belt. Are you a black belt?
No, I'm a brown belt.
Oh, wow.
But
you're the first Brazilian fighter in the UFC I've met that's a brown belt.
I'm a brown belt in jiu-jitsu and luta libre. And the thing is, I train mostly no-gi. So my jiu-jitsu master, he always tells me, I'm only going to give you a black belt whenever you train a full year of gi. And I told him one day I'll do it, but I'm not going to do it right now. So,
right. Yeah. I've only trained gi like 3 times, and I'm a white belt 1 stripe.
Yeah.
But
I don't like.
I've choked a lot of people, though.
We talked about this. Gilbert's going to be the one to promote him to blue belt.
Okay, cool.
That's what we're going to try to make happen one day on a live episode of Menace and the Man.
Wow. It's wild.
One day.
I don't even own a gi. Can you give me a blue belt? I don't even own a gi.
Bro, which Gracie? Like Hole's Gracie? Or one of the Gracies gave Rashad a black belt because he knocked someone out. It happens.
Yeah, but he owns a gi.
He might own a gi, yeah. I don't know if he wears a gi that often, but he owns a gi, yes.
Wild.
So you feel like that's a stipulation of whether or not you should be promoted to blue belt?
Like, promote me with a gi first. Like, all right, you could do jiu-jitsu.
What if he gives you a gi with a blue belt on it? So that's almost the type of promotion you want. You want a gi with a belt on it. Well,
if I had a gi, I would like probably train it a little bit.
Or you want someone to give you a gi with your one stripe white belt around it.
Yeah.
You don't even own a belt. Do you have a belt?
It's at the gym somewhere.
Yeah,
maybe.
You don't even have a belt.
Greg, it's like Greg has it somewhere. He's never given it to me, but he says that's what I am.
It's there.
Yeah.
So now, Vicente, are you like a fight fan? Do you watch the fights, or are you just a fighter?
I do watch fights, but less than I used to. So whenever I started getting into fighting at 15, 16, I used to watch every single UFC and everything. Nowadays, I focus mainly on my division and whichever, guys that I like to watch, that I enjoy watch fighting, Max Holloway is a guy that I'm always going to watch his fight. That's a guy that excites me to watch. And Aldo, that's another guy, Jose Aldo. I love watching his fights. Shogun, I'm the biggest fan of Shogun. That's one of the guys that got me into fighting since the beginning. I used to watch him before every single fight of mine. I just watched a lot of Shogun. And, he's not doing that well now. I think he should retire, maybe. But at the same time, whenever he's going to fight, I'm excited to see him. I know he's just going to go in there and do what he does. And be it win or lose, he's going to put everything he has in there. So I like watching the guys that I enjoy watching.
Shogun's doing okay. He won a couple fights in a row, I believe. And then his last fight, I think it was who did he fight last time? He fought it was like
I think he fought
Jimmy Crute. Is that who he fought? But I remember it was a draw, a back and forth fight that I thought Shogun initially won.
I think it was in Europe or was it in Brazil? I'm not sure. But I had it for Shogun. He started losing, then he lost. He won the second and third.
Yeah, he was. Paul Craig is who he fought last time. Yeah, and it was a draw. Yeah. Where was it?
Whatever.
In Brazil. Yeah, it was in Brazil.
Yeah.
Sao Paulo.
I thought that fight.
Yeah, I thought he won as well.
Never know. Judges, that's something I don't like to leave it to the judges. You never know.
Oh, yeah, we've seen that be a bad situation many times.
Yeah.
Dennis knows it all too well.
I mean, you never know. These guys are just sometimes, I don't even know if they're watching the fight or they're just, it's a long night, a fight night. I mean, you got 13 fights. Each fight is going to be at least 30 minutes, kind of something like that. So I think these guys are sleeping sometimes. They're not really paying attention to the fights. It's kind of crazy.
For sure.
Well, I think they even rotate the judges out a little bit.
Probably not. What do you mean?
No, I think they do. It's not. It's not the same 3 judges for every single fight.
I disagree.
It's the same as the referees. I think that they swap them out. They have like 5 judges on tap.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they swap them a little bit. I believe so. I'd have to double check on it, but
yeah, double check.
I will. So, are you going to be watching this weekend, Vicente?
I will be watching, man. I'm excited for McGregor and Cowboy. I don't know. I'm interested because I think it's a moment where a lot of things could go on with this fight. I think that Cowboy could go in there and if he takes it to the later rounds, I don't see McGregor winning, especially because he has gas in so many fights. But you never know. McGregor has heavy hands. He's got the timing. So we got to see what kind of McGregor is going to be in there. So many years without fighting. I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
So real quick. So this fight's at 155 now?
70.
It's at 170.
Yeah.
Vicente, what weight class do you fight in?
170.
Yeah, that's weird. Like, let's say Vincente's in there against either or. How's it go?
I think it's a knockout for me.
Woo!
Two guys aggressive. I mean, both guys are guys that are gonna go in there and strike, and that's what I'm gonna do as well. And whenever I step in there with a striker, I just feel it's gonna happen. I don't know. I love doing that, and I know what I bring. I know my skills, so I definitely believe I can knock these guys out.
So now, training at Sanford and in Florida, I'm sure you've done rounds with Usman before, right?
I have many rounds, and we've been together, training together since the Ultimate Fighter 21. We both were in that show, and whenever I'm there, I'm getting work with him, and he's a beast. He's definitely a beast. Physically, he's one of the strongest guys I've ever trained with, especially at 170. You don't see guys strong like that at 170, and he has a gas tank to go. More than 5 rounds. He could really go more than 5 rounds. And it's the kind of training, I'm really excited to train with him whenever I'm there because he's a champ, and he's a champ for a reason.
You can test yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
See where you're at.
I want to feel what a champion is like. And, whenever I train, I just feel like, hey, I can hang with a champion. So I have to keep working and have to keep doing what I'm doing to get there one day.
I mean, you're not that far away. So say you're 2 big wins, 2 or 3 fights away from potentially, would you guys ever fight each other, or is that like a gray area, or?
That's something we've talked about, and we would fight each other, especially it's from
business.
both personalities. We're professional guys, and we love fighting, not for hating, our opponents or anything like that. We love the challenge. And what bigger challenge would it be than to fight a teammate, a guy that knows your strong points and your weak points. So it's the kind of fight that excites both of us. And if it comes to it, if it's for a title fight, we would definitely fight each other.
It's awesome.
Yeah, and even like we've seen it with, you guys are both managed by Ali, right? So I've seen that a little bit. We had it with Henry Cejudo and Marias.
Marlon, yeah.
And now we might see it with, depending on what happens in April, with Khabib and Justin Gaethje.
Yep.
And we might see it with
the more the sport grows, more this is gonna happen. It's a sport. At the end of the day, it's a sport. It's not about me liking or disliking or whatever. I gotta go in there and work. Especially if I want to be a champion, how am I not gonna fight the champion? And being a friend of Kamaru, I want him to hold the title until I get there because I want him to keep being a champion. So logically, for me, it makes sense. I'm going to fight him because I want him to keep being a champion. I want to fight for that title. So it's going to be both of us.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And now Robbie Lawler, too, is in that mix as well.
Yeah.
You've done.
We got Gilbert. Gilbert is one number behind me now. He's fighting at 170. So, but Gilbert is a different, it's different. We're just too close. As much as we can avoid that, we're going to avoid that because we're cornering each other every single time. We train it whenever he's here. He comes here down to Brazil sometimes, and he stays at my house. I go there. I stay at his house. So there, it's a different thing. We're just brothers.
Yeah, you guys always want each other to win.
Yeah. For sure.
The only thing I was even
saying. And if you guys fight each other, someone's got to lose.
Only for a title.
I mean, we would hug each other for a title. It's crazy. But I don't know. It's tough. With Gilbert, it's tough. We're just too close. We want each other to win, and we want to, it's always been us against the world. That's kind of mentality when we're together and when we're training. We have this brotherhood, and it's just special. It's different.
Yeah, South Florida. And granted, you guys are a little bit from all over, but South Florida, between American Top Team and the Age Kickboxing guys, Black Zillions, I don't know what you guys call yourselves now, 365 guys, you guys are the top welterweights in the world, like 1 through 10. 1 through 15 is all of you guys.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of talent down there. And whenever you put these level of guys together under really good coaches, and like Greg, like Henry, like Kami, all these guys that are there, watching us and making sure that we're having the best training sessions we can. There's no other way. Guys are gonna get better. We're gonna sharpen up each other, and we're in future we're gonna dominate most of what we can dominate. So it just makes sense, training everybody together. Doesn't matter if we at the end of the day, if we need to have everybody from Hard Knocks is just gonna be fighting each other and having fun.
Oh, for sure. If it pays, absolutely.
I mean, if we have all the 170 guys up there, it's just gonna happen.
Oh, definitely. And yeah, that's a possibility. Or best case, like I don't know how old Gilbert is. Gilbert's a little older, right? He's like 32.
I think so. I think he's 32. Yeah.
Best case scenario, it takes you, 2 years, maybe 3 years to get to that title shot, and Kamaru's done by then. So you don't gotta fight him, and maybe you could fight somebody else. Yeah, that's the best case scenario.
We never know. We never know what's gonna happen. Just gonna keep ready and see how it goes. I just make sure I work as hard as I can, and whenever I get in there, I'm ready.
Did you watch Kamaru versus Colby?
Yeah, I did, and man, that fight was exciting. I love that fight, and it was crazy because Colby, people can hate him, and I'm not a big fan of this guy, but I gotta give him respect because he's not gonna back down. He went in there, he was in Kamaru's face every moment, and he got his jaw broken, and he kept going to the last round. So you gotta give him the respect, for really being a fighter and being there and doing what he does. But at the same time, I had it for Kamaru, and since the beginning, I knew Kamaru was going to win. I thought it was going to be easier than it was. I think it was kind of complicated, especially on the striking. I felt like maybe Kamaru was going to use the wrestling, But at the same time, he has been evolving so much on his striking, and he showed it in that fight. I felt like Colby was more of a boxer, and Kamaru showed, he's versatile. He can do everything. He can box, he can kick, he can go in and out. And just show that he's the better fighter, He's a champion for a reason.
Oh, 100%. Even there's been reports going out now that he had a broken hand in the fight.
Yeah, and Kamaru is a guy that living with him in the Ultimate Fighter, I've seen him struggle sometimes with some small injuries in training, but he's the kind of guy that he's never going to let that get into his mind. He's never going to, back down from a fight for no reason. He has no excuses, and even when he does win fights and goes through it, he is not the guy that's going to talk about it. Somebody's going to have to find out and tell people that he was going through this or through that, because he really doesn't care. It doesn't matter if he's injured or whatever. He's just going to go there, do his work, get out, and get the win and be happy and whatever and move on.
Yeah, like you see guys sometimes, like I know Dennis, I don't think, the only fight I ever remember you pulling out for was Staff.
Yeah.
But like you fought hurt before.
Yeah.
Vicente, I don't remember ever seeing in the news that you pulled out of a fight. Like a lot of times you see guys pull out. Like Conor McGregor, Cowboy, I've never remembered either of them ever pulling out of a fight. They fight hurt. Usman, same thing. Apparently he broke his hand. You'd maybe know better than we would. He broke his hand like 2 weeks out or some shit like that.
Yeah, he had it a little bit before the fight, but it's just the things that we got to deal with it, and I mean, a lot of people talk about sports and they don't get why sportsmen and, for example, fighters get paid what they get paid, but we get paid because we go through things that other people would not want to go through, and that's one of the things sometimes we got to be hurt, and it doesn't matter. We still have to get that paycheck and get that win. We didn't work 3 months for a fight just to get out of it because of a small injury, If I have 2 legs, if I have another hand, I'll go in there and use that. So it's the kind of things that we got to do.
Oh, for sure. You've been quiet over there, Menace.
I mean, you guys are talking. I don't want to, I'm just.
Oh, all right. I'm just checking on you, making sure you're still there.
I used up all my content.
You got no more questions left?
I got nothing. That's it.
All right, Vicente. So what are you hoping for next? What's the next logical date for you when you're trying to get back in there?
Right now, I look at April. I think April or May. That's something logical. My last fight was in November, but beginning of November. So I had November and December kind of really light training, nothing too hard, just resting up my body. And now January, I've picked it up, getting really high intensity training. So I think April or May, that makes sense for me. It's going to be a good time for me to get back.
All right. So now, do you do most of it in Brazil? What's the time frame usually when you head back to Florida?
So it all depends what kind of fight I'm gonna get, when I'm gonna fight. So sometimes I'll do Florida first in the camp. So my camp usually is 8 weeks. I'll do Florida first, then Brazil last, and then fight. Sometimes I'll do Brazil first, Florida last, and fight. Sometimes I'll just do Florida. Sometimes I'll just do Brazil. It's more about
Whatever the
what
fuck you feel like doing.
Yeah, exactly, and it all depends, who I'm gonna fight, where am I gonna fight. If I'm gonna fight in Brazil, for me it just makes sense to be here,
Yeah.
and it's no time difference, no climate change, so I just feel like training here. But if I fight in the U.S., maybe it makes sense for me to be there for 2-3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks before.
Now, yeah, you guys don't have cold in Brazil, right?
No, I mean. No, we don't get cold ever. It's the thing is I know temperature in Celsius. I don't know in Fahrenheit, but the coldest we get is maybe 15 Celsius. That would be like 68, 70.
Yeah, it doesn't snow in Brazil.
No, never. No way.
Yeah,
No.
It's a fucking rainforest, Stan.
I'm just asking. I'm
Yeah.
just asking that.
Did you pay attention in third grade?
Yeah.
When I talked about the rainforest?
Not really. I was a bad student up until like high school. Then I got
it's humid and there's fucking monkeys and tigers running around and shit.
Yeah, of course.
They never talked about snow one time.
I'm just putting it out there. Other people might not know. I wasn't asking solely for myself.
We don't want people that didn't pay attention in third grade to listen to our show.
We want everyone to listen to our show.
No, I don't.
100%.
I don't want idiots.
Well, your co-host is an idiot, so I was asking for myself. No, I'm just joking.
Oh, my God.
So, Vicente, we didn't get your answer before. Cowboy Conor, who do you got in that one?
It's 50-50, but I would say for the timing, I think Cowboy's going to get it just because he has been more active. And I think that, if he has the experience to take that fight into where it's his comfort zone, so if he keeps smart, takes care in the first round, and takes it to the later rounds, I think he can take that fight.
Conor, you're saying?
No.
Cowboy.
Cowboy, yeah.
Okay, so are you making that pick? Your pick is Cowboy in the later rounds?
Cowboy, later rounds.
What do you got, Stan?
I'm going to go. I think Conor's going to smoke him early. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Cowboy's good when you stand in front of him or if you let him march you backwards. Conor doesn't let anybody march him backwards. Conor's going to push Donald backwards. Cowboy's not very good off his back leg. Conor's very good moving forward. Conor's also very good at going backwards. So if Cowboy does press Conor, he's good with that lock back.
And it's one of those things. Is Cowboy fucking me up? Yeah. But I'm going to say, like Cowboy, when you watch him, he has a hitch in his punches a little bit. He doesn't throw straight. Like, he has a little pullback and then a punch. Conor throws a tell. Conor throws, when you have that little hitch, Conor goes, nope, boop, and throws that straight left down the middle.
Now, Cowboy does kick more, too. But Conor does these, push kicks to kind of just...
Teeps to the body.
That's it, really. He's not destroying the legs.
I mean, unless Cowboy sets up a head kick off the first 3 or 4 combinations and it lands, which Conor's a good striker. He throws kicks too. I think Conor just eats him up. Like I heard coaches or Cowboys coaches say all he has is a straight left hand. You still have to deal with the straight left hand. Every southpaw. Vicente, you right-handed or southpaw? You're a southpaw, aren't you?
No, I'm a right hand. It's tricky.
You switch it up. Yeah.
I fight as an orthodox, but I'll go southpaw as well.
Yeah, if you say all a guy has is a straight left hand, you still have to deal with the straight left hand.
Yeah.
You still have to throw something and be in range to maybe get hit with it. So, I think.
But thing too, you guys didn't talk about. Cowboy sometimes has a double leg and he'll shoot in the first rounds just to take that round just to make it slow down. He's a guy that starts slow, so sometimes he tries to take to the ground. I think that could be an option for him too.
Yes, if he game planned and he's going to fight this fight smart, zap a little bit of that explosiveness out of Conor and go for that takedown, 100%. But even like the only time we've ever seen Conor out grappled is when he was tired against Nate and Khabib. And Khabib's out grappled everyone.
Yeah. No, Khabib is another level.
Yeah. So you can't really. People always say and try to take that fight into consideration. Nobody's beaten Khabib. So there's no. It's not really a conversation to have. Yeah. His ground game is way too much.
Yep.
Have you ever trained with Khabib at all?
No, I haven't. I've met Khabib in Las Vegas when he fought McGregor. I fought that same night, and he's a great guy, but never trained with him.
Yeah, but when you just watch him fight, he's from Dagestan. He's like a Russian killer, that guy. That's a whole different level of grappling right there.
Yeah, he lives it. He lives wrestling and sambo and whatever they train over there. That crazy basketball they do, that is kind of wrestling basketball. And I don't know what they do. All the guys from Dagestan, they just fight the same, and they're tough guys.
Oh, for sure. So now, what do you think happens between him and Tony Ferguson?
I don't know. It's the kind of fight, everybody, when you see Ferguson, you're going to think, like, I'm the guy that I'm going to think he can bring something, he can do something, but at the same time, Khabib is Khabib. He just goes there, does what he does. I don't know. I don't know if anybody could beat him. Sincerely, like and he is not the guy that is gonna risk, if he were a guy that maybe, okay, but he can stand a little bit and get caught. But he's not the kind of guy that does that, He'll shoot if he needs to right away. 10 seconds into the fight, he'll shoot, take you down, and hold you down. So I think he's gonna get that win again. And I don't know. Ferguson is a tricky guy, especially with the elbows. He can cut him up, but I don't know. It's a tough one. I got Khabib with that.
Yeah, and if he beats Tony, there's not much left for him at 155. Maybe
I think do some super fights.
Maybe a Conor rematch, but I think he wins that. Maybe Justin Gaethje, which would be the most interesting one, but past that, there's no real matchup for him at 155.
Yeah, I mean we had to have to see him go up, maybe, fight Kamaru. That would be a crazy fight.
Is he big enough for Kamaru? I've heard Kamaru's huge. You would know this, right?
Kamaru is big. It's definitely like way bigger than Khabib. But at the same time, if he's beating everyone in his division, he has to move, either up or down. I don't think he could go down. So he's got to look for it. Yeah.
So, man, Ali's got all the moves right now. Either it's Khabib going up to fight Kamaru or something like that.
Well,
yeah.
After Gaethje, all right, let's say Khabib beats Ferguson, Gaethje. What about the dude that beat Gillespie last?
Kevin Lee. Kevin Lee is about to fight. If Kevin Lee wins his next fight, I think they're trying to match up Kevin Lee with Islam Makhachev.
Oof.
Yeah, so
that's
Khabib's boy, similar style, but I think Islam might be southpaw. But
if he beats that dude, then yeah, he's fucking. I think he's right in line for a title.
Yeah, maybe another win away. He might be like because he has those 2 losses to Iaquinta.
Oh yeah,
that'll always be like his Achilles heel, if you will. So Vicente, crowded welterweight division. Who do you want to fight next?
Man, I want to fight a lot.
Mike Perry.
Well, I fought him, but I will fight him again. Definitely. I will fight him again. No problem with that. I think he's a guy that deserves a rematch. We had a tight fight. I thought I got the win, but many people thought he had the win. So I would like to make that clear for everyone that I won. But he's a great guy. We had a lot of respect for each other after the fight. And whenever he wants it, if he definitely wants that rematch, I'm the guy that is willing to give him the rematch, no problem. But I'm always looking up. I'm always looking to move up. So if I can get anybody inside the top 15, I'm going to try to get that. Joffney was a guy that I've been looking at. He's been looking great. He's beat 2 of the guys that I beat. He beat Bilal Muhammad and he beat Nico Price.
And he beat Perry.
And he beat Perry, yeah.
So
3 guys.
Yeah, he fucked Perry up, yeah.
Yeah. So, he's a guy that definitely looks like a good challenge. I would like to fight him for sure.
All right, so maybe you versus Jeff Neal in April?
Yeah, that would be a good one.
All right, something like that. I mean, you're still up there, too. You could even maybe go a little higher than Jeff Neal at the moment.
Stan will reach out to the matchmakers and set that up for you.
Yeah, I'll DM Sean Shelby and tell him this is the next fight you got to make. See what he does.
Yep.
But nah, that's how it is. You know this, Vicente, and Dennis has said this many times. They want you to put it out there. Like they don't want they don't want guys to be like, yo, I'll fight anybody, because then it's like, fuck, now I gotta sit and matchmake. When you actually call someone out, they'll see if the date lines up, and if it works, then all right, yeah, we'll make this fight.
Yeah, that's something that I took a while to learn. You know, because I'm not the kind of guy that trash talks.
Right.
But at the time, you can call people out and not trash talk. So that's what I recently learned, you know. I was just the guy that I'll fight anyone. You know, I love fighting. Whoever you put in there, I'm going to be excited. But at the same time, I got to be intelligent. I got to call my moves and make sure that I go up the division. And, you know, I cannot be fighting just for fighting and not improve. So, you know, working now with Ali also, he has helped me so much to make the right move. So I feel like I'm in a good path.
Oh, definitely. You got the right manager. So, yeah, Pettis is moving down back to 155. They got him ranked at 70. So, yeah, Jeff Neal would be the most logical. He's only ranked one ahead of you, though.
Yep.
Other than that, you got Nate Diaz, who we don't know if he's fighting. Thompson, who you just fought. Maia, who's about to fight Gilbert. Dos Anjos, who's about to fight Michael Chiesa. Maybe even the winner of that would be a good fight for you.
Yeah, that would be a good one.
And then we got Leon Edwards, who's probably fighting Woodley. And then Masvidal and Covington. So, yeah, Jeff.
We're going to see if Masvidal's going to decide or what he's going to do. Maybe he's going to get Conor after this fight, if Conor wins.
I think he's going to fight Conor.
Yeah.
If the UFC's smart and they want to make, you know, a couple million, or $1 billion, however much fight that money would generate, or however much money that fight would generate, that's the fight they should go with. But Vicente, we appreciate the time. Menace, you got anything else for Vicente?
Love you, dude.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you for having me and had a lot of fun, man.
Fuck yeah. That's what we do over here.
For sure. We'll make you a regular. We appreciate the time. Good conversation, good laughs. And we hope you get your next one, hopefully maybe April in the Barclays.
Yep, that'd be a good one, man. Yeah, for sure. I would have fun there.
Absolutely. So everybody be sure to check out Vicente Luque. Again, Vicente, thank you. We'll talk to you soon, brother.
Take care, guys. Thanks.
Peace. Fucking tired.
Are you?
Yeah.
What happened to you?
I don't know. I got up at fucking 5:30 this morning, Stan. What time did you get up?
Like 6:30, actually.
Bullshit.
This morning, like 6:30. I'll show you my...
To take a piss and then go back to sleep?
No, not at all. To get up and start my day. Today was an early day.
So you're not tired?
I don't sleep that much. You definitely hit a wall there on that Vicente interview, though.
Yeah. I used up all my content. I got tired and bored with you.
Are you? So, I mean, that's up to you if you want to wait for Gilbert.
No chance.
No chance what?
Fucking tired. I gotta go sleep, dude.
This early? Pretty much, if I'm going to read through the lines, you got a text message, and then that's when you went south. What'd you get?
Nothing. I'm tired.
Oh. All right, so we'll do a quick little preview of 246 and then get the fuck out of here.
All right, I like that.
Yeah, you definitely hit a wall there.
Yeah. I was working the lines today, dude. I was on the pole hard today. Probably fucking 4 hours in hooks.
And how was that?
Dealing with hot electric. With rubber gloves on.
Hot electric?
Yeah. Like me, I could fucking zap your ass and fucking kill you.
What would zap me?
Electric? Hot electric?
Possibly, or I'd learn how to do it.
No, I'm just saying in general, it could.
Yeah, I doubt you care about much of this card.
Don't be so negative, dude.
No, I definitely doubt you care. So we'll even start there. J.J. Aldrich versus Sabina Mazo. You care about that fight?
Sabina Mazo.
Yeah, you don't care about that fight. Brian Kelleher versus
I'm going boom, boom, boom.
Odie Osborne. You've trained with Kelleher a bunch, right?
Yeah. Is this guy black?
Who? Odie Osborne?
Yeah.
He looks pretty dark. Or is that just a white dude with a black and white thing?
I don't know.
Let's see. Why is it not popping him
I
up?
don't know. It's irrelevant. I'm going boom. Hopefully he's been working with Ryan LaFleur a little bit, so Ryan said he's looking good, so I'm going boom.
He's like the road warrior, Brian Kelleher. I know he works with LaFleur. He works at Lima. I know I've seen him working with Rick Schaefer. So I wasn't sure who his striking coach was, because I see him working with numerous people. Tim Elliott versus Oscar Oskarev.
Tim Elliott. Whoop, whoop.
Do you know Tim Elliott?
Yep.
Alexa Kamor versus Justin Lidit.
A girl's fighting a guy?
No. It's a guy named Aleska.
Oh.
I should have just been like, yep.
I'm going to go with Justin then.
Aleska is 5-0, so he doesn't know how to lose yet.
What's the other guy?
9-2. I'm going to go J.J. Aldrich, Kelleher, Oscar, and then I'm going to go Aleska.
Okay.
And those are the prelims. What are you going there, Aleska or Justin? Oh, you going Justin?
Yep.
Okay. The preliminary.
Chaz Skelly all day, every day.
Another guy you know? You trained with him before?
Yeah,
So Chaz Skelly versus Grant Dawson. Ooh, that's actually a tough one.
it is, but Chaz Skelly going to grab that neck.
I'm going to go Grant Dawson.
Okay.
Drew Dober versus Nasrat
I'm going Drew.
Hawk Parasat.
Going Drew.
I'm going to go Nasquar Hawk Parasat. 11-2 versus 21-9. So Andre Feely versus Yodik Yusuf.
Yoda.
You going Yodik? Sodik?
Well, no, I mean, I want Andre to win because it makes me look better.
Mm-hmm.
But this guy's slow.
tough. Yeah. This is the guy who beat, I believe, what's his name?
I don't know what's his name.
Julio Arce.
Oh.
Like really tough back and forth fight.
I'm gonna go with the blackness.
Nope, this is not the guy who beat Julio Arce. But this guy has beaten Shema Marias, Gabriel Benitez.
No, I'm going back. I'm going
Feely?
Feely.
Yeah, I'm going to go Feely on that one. And what was the other one? The main fight on the prelims, Roxanne Modafferi versus Macy Barber.
Macy.
Yeah.
Even though I'm mad at her.
Why are you mad at her?
I fucking sent her a DM like, yo, Menace the Man thinks you're really cool. We want to have you on the show. Oh, I need to throw crickets at her.
Did she read it?
No, I don't know.
So she's probably never even
I
read
don't
it.
give a shit.
You guys aren't friends.
I don't care. I'm still mad at her.
But yeah, I'm going Macy Barber as well. What do we got here? Anthony Pettis versus Carlos Diego Ferreira.
I got Anthony Pettis.
I feel like this was the co-main event and they got like demoted. I'm going to go Anthony Pettis as well, but Anthony Pettis is actually in the process of suing USADA.
Why?
Apparently, I don't know the exact, but he got hurt when USADA came to visit him. He like slipped and fell on something right before the Nate Diaz fight.
Wow.
But he might be messing up with what he's doing because he's suing USADA, the UFC, and someone else.
So if he loses, he can get cut.
Possibly, yeah. But they wouldn't let him go because then where's he going to go? He's going to go right to Bellator.
Or PFL.
Or PFL. Claudia Gadelha versus Alexa Grasso.
Claudia.
Yeah, I think Claudia would be too much for Alexa Grasso. Alexei Olenek versus Maurice Green.
Alexia
Olenek.
That guy's a beast. That guy reminds me of Shrek. If Shrek was an MMA fighter.
Yeah, I'd go Olenek in that one as well. Holly Holm versus Raquel Pennington.
Holly Holm. Man, I've been very, very strong on what's the red corner?
Yeah.
The left side, the red corner?
Who comes out second? The red corner, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the red corner.
Yeah.
Very red corner heavy.
Damn.
Conor McGregor versus Donald Cerrone.
Connor.
All day?
Gotta stay at the red corner.
Yeah, I think Conor wins this one. I think it's a rough night for Cowboy.
I think it'll be fun.
I think rough night for Cowboy. Similar to even the Justin Gaethje fight. Like, I think Justin Gaethje, too. I mean, sometimes he winds up, or that's the old Justin Gaethje. Now Justin Gaethje changed his style a little bit, so he's more slinging him straight down the middle. I think he slings it right down the middle and catches him. Similar to how Justin Gaethje caught him. Only this time it'll be a left hand instead of a right hand. So, yeah, going Conor McGregor on that one. So that concludes our UFC 246 picks. Not much of a preview. We just did some picks, but Menace wants to get out of here.
I'm tired, dude.
I hear you. I don't blame you.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't. How do I blame you?
You're like, why are you tired?
No.
Oh, I lifted before I got here, too.
So that might have did it.
Fucking mile run. Hit the chest. I did a drop set. I did flat bench, dumbbell, drop set. So I went 70s for 10, dropped it down to 60s for 10. No, sorry, 80s, 70, 60. Then I went incline, 70, 60, 50, with abs in between each time I changed the bench. Then I went decline, 70, 60, 50, ran another mile, showered it up.
Well, what we did was we had Vicente. I talked to Vicente like 2 weeks ago, and he was good for today. Then we had a few other guests, but some miscommunication with the PR people. Obviously, we switched from Tuesday to Monday. Then I hit up Jessica Penne to see if she wanted to come on. You saw her whole situation.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
She said give her some time. I talked to Dom Reyes. He said he's recovering, training tonight, so give him another week or so.
Okay.
And then we were going to do Gilbert at 8, but I was trying to fill that 7 to 8 block, but it didn't work out. I didn't hit up enough people, if you will.
What? I think our show's too long.
I know. I want it to be shorter, too, but you also got to work with what people give you, time-wise. Like tonight, exactly perfect case in point. We're going to have to...
You want to do 6 to 7 with Luque and then 7 to 8 with Gilbert?
No, my game plan was to maybe do like 6:30 to 7 with Luque, 7:15 to 7:45 with someone else, and then a couple minutes with Gilbert at the end.
That's wild.
Is it?
Yeah.
Not at all.
I'm tired.
Yeah, but you're usually not this tired.
Well, I started lifting again and stopped drinking. So
why, you done drinking?
yeah, I had one beer.
No, you're not done drinking. That just means you're not drinking while we record, which is fine. But
Makes me tired.
if you are going to drink, what are you going to drink?
Water?
A Great South Bay. What do you mean?
Oh.
That was like your segue. You're like, just water, dick.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But yes. Our
Yeah.
good friends at Great South Bay. So
I don't drink much, but when I do, Great South Bay Brewery.
What does he say in Most Interesting Man in the World? I don't always drink beer, but when I do, it's a Great South Bay.
That's the Sakis.
Instead of Dos Equis, you drink a Great South Bay.
Yep.
All right, let's get Menace out of here. Episode 61. We'll see you guys next week. If you guys are free and in New York and you want to go to the Public House,
I'll be there. Stan, you coming?
possibly.
Okay.
What time are you going to be there?
For the fights, when the fights start?
The main card or the prelims? What's the deal? Your fans might be coming to meet you.
Just come for the main card.
So the main card is what you're going for.
Yep.
All right, so Menace will be there around 9:30, 10 o'clock.
But maybe I'll be there before that. Who knows?
Who knows? He's being vague, so whenever you want to see him, just show up.
Yep.
All right, episode 61.
Well, see you later.